Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle Seahawks fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors swirling around the Seahawks secondary. And let me tell you, this isn't just any rumor. It's potentially one of the most significant moves that could redefine Seattle's defense and consequently their entire season. We're talking about the possibility of acquiring Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Miami Dolphins, a player who, if the deal goes through, could immediately elevate the Seahawks into a new stratosphere of defensive excellence. And it's not just about Fitzpatrick alone. There's also talk about adding Julian Love, the versatile safety from the Dolphins, who could complement Fitzpatrick and give Seattle a dynamic, adaptable backfield that's capable of shutting down even the most potent passing attacks in the league. Now, to understand why this potential move is so game-changing, let's look at the current landscape. The Dolphins, sitting at a disappointing 1-5 record, are clearly in a rebuild or tanking phase. Their cap situation is tight, with only around $2 million in free space, and they're focusing heavily on the offensive line, especially after allowing a staggering 30 sacks so far this season, which ranks them 29th in the NFL. It's a clear sign that Miami is prioritizing their future, and part of that future involves moving some of their veteran assets, like Fitzpatrick, to free up cap space and draft picks. But for the Seahawks, this is an opportunity knocking. Seattle, sitting comfortably at 4-2 and very much in the playoff hunt, are actively seeking to bolster their secondary, especially their safety position. They've been a team that's always valued versatile, high IQ safeties, and Minkah Fitzpatrick fits that mold perfectly. Looking at his recent performance, Fitzpatrick has been nothing short of elite. In 2025, he's posted 35 solo tackles, which ranks him in the top 10 among safeties, and his 3 interceptions are among the best in the league. But it's not just about the stats, it's how he impacts the game. His EPA per snap, a statistic that measures how much a player contributes to the team's success, is at plus 0.18, placing him among the top safeties in the league. His coverage rating, which is a key indicator of his ability to shut down passing lanes, sits at 78.5, putting him in the top 3 among safeties. And when it comes to yards after catch allowed, Fitzpatrick only gives up about 2 yards per tackle, which is impressive, especially for a safety often tasked with covering deep threats. His missed tackle rate is just around 4%, making him one of the most reliable tacklers in the league, and his run defense grade is an outstanding 84. Showing he's not just a pass defender but also a solid run stopper. If you remember his game against the Bills in Week 3, Fitzpatrick had an outstanding performance with 8 tackles, an interception, and a plus 0.20 EPA per play. That kind of impact is exactly what the Seahawks need. His career stats include over 400 tackles and 15 interceptions, and he's known for forcing fumbles, 8 in total, and having a ball hawk rate of 20%, which ranks among the top in the league. His ability to read plays and make game-changing plays is what makes him such a coveted player. It's worth noting, too, that he's dealt with some injuries, like a hamstring issue in 2025 that caused him to miss a game. But overall, his performance remains stellar. Think of him as a modern-day Ed Reed, peaking in his prime, capable of covering deep, making plays in the secondary, and being a true playmaker. Now on the Dolphins' side, the move makes sense from a cap and rebuild perspective. They're not realistically competing for the playoffs this year, with odds of over 10-0 to make it in the AFC East, which is one of the most competitive divisions in football. To make matters worse, their defense, which is already struggling, could take a hit if they trade Fitzpatrick. His absence would likely decrease their EPA per pass by around 12%, similar to what we saw with the Steelers after trading away Fitzpatrick. That's a significant blow, especially considering they're already fighting an uphill battle to stay competitive. The Dolphins are focused on their future, with plans to extend Tua Tagovailoa and free up cap space, and trading Fitzpatrick is part of that strategy. But for Seattle, this is a clear opportunity to acquire a proven difference-maker on defense, someone who can immediately upgrade their secondary and help them contend at a higher level. So how does this impact the Seahawks? Well, for starters, Fitzpatrick would transform their secondary, adding a player projected to contribute around 10 more interceptions over the course of the season. That's a huge boost in creating turnovers, which are often the key difference in close games. His presence could also reduce the pass yards allowed from around 190 yards per game to about 160, increasing their overall pass defense efficiency by roughly 22%. Imagine what that could mean for a Seahawks unit that's been solid but not at an elite level. The projected stats show a +1. 8 passes defense per game when paired with Quandre Diggs, and their zone coverage win rate would jump by 25%. With a rising star like Mafe, who already has 6 sacks this season, the Seahawks could turn their pass rush and secondary into one of the league's best. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The odds for the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl are already moving in their favor, jumping from +4,000 to +1,500, making them one of the more dangerous dark horses in the league. With Fitzpatrick in the fold, that number could drop even further, especially considering how well he fits into the Seahawks' defensive scheme. His knack for creating turnovers and disrupting passing attacks would give Seattle a serious edge in the playoffs, especially against teams with deep threats like Kupp. This move could serve as the final piece in the puzzle, elevating their defense from a good unit to a top 3 pass defense, supporting Smith and his offense with more opportunities and less pressure. What does all this mean for the division and the league? Well, if this trade happens, it signals that the Seahawks are not just content with competing, they're aiming for dominance. It's a bold move, a sign that they're all in, willing to make big moves to contend for another Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, Miami's tanking strategy might be the reason they're willing to part with Fitzpatrick. But for the Seahawks, this is about seizing the moment, about locking in a player who can be the X factor in their playoff push. It's a strategic visionary move, one that could define the Seahawks' season and even their franchise's future. So as fans, what do you think? Are you excited about this potential move? Do you believe Fitzpatrick can elevate this Seahawks team to new heights? The possibilities are thrilling, and it's exactly the kind of boldness that makes the NFL so unpredictable and exciting. We'll keep a close eye on how this unfolds, but one thing is for sure. If the Seahawks manage to pull this off, they're not just contenders, they're serious title contenders. The NFC West is about to get even more interesting, and Seattle might be the team leading the charge. Stay tuned, because we'll be here every step of the way, bringing you the latest updates, insights, and analysis on this story and everything else happening in the NFL. Remember, this isn't just about football, it's about passion, strategy, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And for Seahawks fans, this could be the start of something truly special. So keep your eyes peeled, stay loud, and let's see what the future holds for our team, because the best is yet to come. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.